It is a critical question, as important today as it was 50 years ago. What did the president know, and when did he know it? Today, in its second public hearing, the January 6th committee tried to answer that very question. The panel laid out how Donald Trump embraced election lies and ignored his own top aides as they repeatedly debunked his false claims in the days, weeks, and even months leading up to the attack.
After the election, as of November 7th, in your judgment, what were the chances of President Trump winning the election?
After that point?
Yes.
None.
What they were proposing, I thought was nuts. And in theory, was also completely nuts.
I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality. When I went into this and would, tell him how crazy some of these allegations were, there was never an indication of interest in what the actual facts were. In my opinion then, and my opinion now, is that the election was not stolen by fraud.
Former president instead chose to side with an allegedly drunk Rudy Giuliani, who reportedly encouraged Trump to falsely claim he won the election. Giuliani denies that he was intoxicated. He denies that he was drinking at all. But here's what former Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller told the committee he saw election night just before Trump went on TV to call the election a fraud.
Was there anyone in that conversation who, in your observation, had too much to drink?
Like Mayor Giuliani. And the mayor was definitely intoxicated, but I do not know that his level of intoxication when he spoke with the president, for example.
Tonight, the former guy issued a 12-page response filled with many of those very false claims and conclusions we heard his own advisors call, and I'm going to quote this, completely nuts. Today's hearing also highlighted how the committee is following the money. The panel detailed how the Trump campaign used and continues to use election fraud claims to rake in over $250 million from his supporters. Some of those very funds were supposedly used for an election defense fund, a fund that the committee says doesn't even exist.
Throughout the committee's investigation, we found evidence that the Trump campaign and its surrogates misled donors as to where their funds would go and what they would be used for. So not only was there the big lie, there was the big ripoff.
During an interview this afternoon, the committee's Zoe Lofgren, who you saw just there, also revealed that former Trump campaign advisor and girlfriend to Donald Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle, she was paid $60,000 from those election fraud donations for what? A 2.5-minute speaking gig at the January 6th rally. Tonight, the committee's chair and vice chair appeared to disagree over the potential for criminal referrals. But fellow committee member Adam Schiff says there is enough evidence for the Justice Department to consider indicting Trump.
The Justice Department, they need to be doing their own investigation. They clearly are investigating many of the people who attacked the Capitol on January 6th and those who organized or funded them. But as our committee has been demonstrating, there were multiple lines of effort to overturn the election. As the judge in California has said, some of those lines of effort likely involved criminal activity on the part of the president.
Today, Attorney General Merrick Garland said the Department of Justice is watching closely and will follow the facts wherever they lead.
I am watching, and I will be watching all the hearings. I can assure you that the January 6th prosecutors are watching all the hearings as well. We are proceeding with full urgency with respect, as I've said many times before, to hold all perpetrators who are criminally responsible for January 6th accountable, regardless of their level, their position, and regardless of whether they were present at the events of January 6th.